Hi, welcome to lessonswithtroy.com. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, today's lesson is going to be all about improving our right hand and really working on what's called pick blocking, which is basically muting using your fingers, your index, middle, and your thumb, and any part of your right hand to mute out strings that you don't want to ring. And in this lesson, I've included 36 kind of a mishmash of exercises, licks, and techniques to really work on this right hand and really try to improve your technique to really clean up your playing. So we got a lot to learn. I've got 11 pages of tab with this one, and we're just going to start off and learn a whole lot of exercises that's really going to help you understand what actually pick blocking is and to help you with it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, well, before we get going here with talking about exercises and licks and whatnot, let me just try to explain as simply as I can what pick blocking is. As simply put, it's just having a string ringing, and then you can touch that string with your pick or your thumb or your fingers or your hand and try to mute it out. So say you grabbed your third, second, and first string like that. An example of pick blocking would be those are ringing out. You want them to stop ringing out, you just touch them. Now, sometimes I use, just my fingers for this. Sometimes, my fingers with the picks on them. Sometimes I use my ring and pinky finger to mute out certain things. I might curl them and touch them. That's just kind of something that I do. Sometimes I even use my hand back here to maybe put it on the strings and mute them out. But when you're playing some of these licks, what you can do is use your middle and your index to mute out. See how I just played my first and second string and those are ringing out, and I want to play that third. So instead of getting that where they're all three ringing out, see, I just touch them on my first and second string, and it mutes out those strings, and then that third string rings out. That's just an example. But let's go ahead and jump in here with all these exercises and licks, and I'll talk a lot more about this technique called pick blocking. Okay, just like in our other exercises lately, on exercise number 8, we're here on our C chord. Just a straight bar, fingers straight, getting a good sound. Just check out the right hand. Okay, in exercise number 8, it's similar to exercise number 7, but what we're going to do is we're going to do okay, see what I did there? I go for my first set of 3 strings. As those are ringing out, I bring my picks down for the next set of 3 strings, which mutes out what I just played. Now I hit those. Bring them down to the next set. That mutes what I just played out. Play those. Bring them down to the next set. Bring them down. That mutes out those. Bring them down. Get ready, and you're going to start it back up. Bring it up. Now this is a different one, actually, since we haven't really went up. Now when those were ringing out, the 6th, 5th, and 4th string that I just played, and I go up here, now you're going to find a whole different kind of muting that you're going to do with the, let's see if I can get the right angle here, the back part of your thumb here. See that? That part that's kind of in between the pick, the fleshy part. When you, as that's ringing out, see I bring my fingers down to strings 5, 4, and 3, and this thumb right here is muting out that 6th string. But in a weird way, I'm not touching the 6th string with my actual pick. I'm touching it kind of with the back of my thumb. Like I'm saying, I'm just using any part of my hand that I can to mute out. It's just, you just want to be musical with it, not get your pick caught in the string or any weird thing, but get used to. See, when I go up like that, up in pitch or in strings, when I bring my fingers down, that thumb is muting out that lower string, and that's what's going to happen as you go up on this exercise. So let's just try that going up. We're here on our 6th, 5th, and 4th string. And you can always, if you get some resonance ringing up, can always use your whole thumb, back there to touch any part of the string too. This part of your thumb too, the long part there, can lay on the strings and mute them out as well. So the trick here is, and you'll start seeing, you really want your fingers as close to the strings as possible. If you're a player that really is up off the strings, pick blocking is going to be really hard for you. You really want to keep your fingers close to the strings. And in this particular instance, I'm kind of right back here on the heel plate there. Kind of getting out of the way of my lower strings so that they can ring out. So for this particular exercise, my fingers are really close to my strings. In fact, my thumb is actually laying on all my strings, and I'm using this long part of my thumb there to mute out strings. And what you're going to find is you're going to start feeling your way around these strings. If you're off, or if your finger like that, see my pick is actually caught under the string. You can start compensating for that and correcting it real quick once you start getting a real good feel for your fingers actually touching or your fingers being real close to the strings. So some problems, since your fingers are going to be closer, some problems you're going to have is actually getting your finger picks caught under the strings. So don't, watch that you don't get your finger picks caught under the strings, your thumb pick, this part caught under the string. It's just something you got to practice. Start off slow with it. So that one's a good one for, remember, getting this back part of your thumb to mute out a string that you previously just played. Okay, let's move on now to, where are we at? Exercise number 9.